Hello, thank you for joining me today to discuss the latest intervention to improve the mathematics proficiency on the standardized test for McDowell County Schools. My name is Eric Lester, and I'm a former math teacher and current Dean of Students at Mountain View High School. I'm also an instructional design and technology PhD student at Liberty University, and this project is for Education 733. Let's begin by discussing the mission, vision, and culture of McDowell County Schools. The mission of McDowell County Schools is to empower students with the knowledge, skills, and confidence for academic success and future careers. Their vision prepares students to excel in higher education and careers in a technology-driven world. And for our culture, we've focused on academic excellence, community engagement, and supporting student growth. Our primary goal is to improve the students' mathematics proficiency scores on the state standardized test by 20%. Of course, by doing this, we will improve academic achievement across all subjects. We are going to create a positive learning environment for the students. Their increased mathematics understanding will enhance their college readiness, and we will also be able to align our curriculum better to state standards. When executing the performance analysis, it is important to uncover the current behaviors, skills, and attitudes and map them to what we desire them to be after the intervention. Currently, we have low mathematics proficiency rates. We hope to be able to increase mathematics understandings. We discovered a high rate of math anxiety and dislike. We hope to create confident learners. And classroom teachers are stuck to the old independent classroom practices. But through our intervention, we hope to create common, standards-based practices. There are many parts to this instructional design plan, but here are a few of the recommended interventions. First, we believe that it is important to have professional development for teachers to be able to create common practices that can reach across all the skill levels. We want to focus on foundational mathematical skills for students. This includes topics such as variables and symbolism, linear equations, real scenario problems, and self-evaluation. We also plan on implementing the ALEX personalized tutoring system that we were able to purchase through our textbook curriculum. And finally, we want to implement a token economy reward system to make sure that students realize when they are doing good and continue to try really hard. During this intervention, we plan to use both synchronous and asynchronous delivery methods to deliver the instruction. For our synchronous methods, we plan to use face-to-face instruction during classroom time and use live classroom activities to engage the students. For our asynchronous methods, we want to implement video learning, use Google Classroom activities, and have students be able to access online modules to continue learning at any time. For successful intervention, it is important that both pre- and post-trainings take place to make sure that the intervention is implemented correctly and that future iterations will be able to learn from the past. Before the intervention begins, teachers will participate in a professional development to learn how to implement this intervention correctly. Students will also be given a presentation on the importance of this intervention and be reminded how important that the SAT may be to their future. After the intervention is over, teachers will attend another professional development to evaluate the effectiveness of the intervention with the new data found from the SAT test, and this allows the team to make necessary changes to the next iteration of the intervention. Communication is also another key aspect to successful implementation of the intervention. Administration, teachers, parents, and students will be involved in the process of the implementation of this intervention. We plan on having monthly virtual meetings that will take place to discuss the progress made by the intervention groups as a whole. Google Classroom will also be updated weekly with scores and information that will be necessary for parents to keep track of their individual students. Throughout the intervention, there are several key milestones we need to bring to your attention. First, the pre-assessment will determine the group placement for each student throughout the intervention. Students will remain in these groups for the remainder of the year. Next, the completion of each module will allow all stakeholders to understand the progress being made for each student. The course module assessments will show the progress being made toward mastering each skill, and also the summative assessment will give us a good prediction of the overall success of this intervention. Finally, we will be able to see if we have accomplished our goal through evaluating the SAT scores for our intervention groups. Of course, with any project, it is important to evaluate and measure our successes. For this intervention, we plan on doing this in 4 ways: teacher feedback, student engagement, and SAT test scores. The teachers are the experts in helping students learn. Through the evaluation of the project, we will be able to make changes from their recommendations. It is also important to get the student's point of view. We want to make sure that the content is interesting enough and challenging enough to achieve the overall goal. Next, we'll be able to use classroom observations to determine the engagement levels of the teachers and students. Finally, the SAT test scores will be the ultimate measure of our success for our goal to raise SAT math scores by 20%. For our evaluation plan, we will be using Kirkpatrick's 4 levels of evaluation. Level 1 is did they like it? Level 2 is did they learn it? Level 3, did they apply it? And level 4, did it make a difference? For level 1, we will be surveying staff and students to determine how they felt about the intervention. To find out if they learned it, the formative and summative assessments that will be in a similar format to the West Virginia State Standardized Tests will be used. For level 3 on did they apply it, we will be able to obtain learner feedback to determine the extent to which they applied their new skills when taking the standardized test. And for level 4, did it make a difference? We will be able to tell by evaluating the mathematics scores from the SAT administered as the West Virginia State Standardized Test. Here are some important dates throughout the timeline of this intervention. August 30th, 2024, we will be having teacher professional development and a data crawl to determine the student placement. September 9th, 2024, the intervention groups will be organized and distributed to the participating teachers. September 16th, 2024, our intervention will begin and pre-assessments will be taken by students. And then February 21st, 2025, intervention activities will be completed and some of the assessments will be given and evaluated upon completion. In closing, I want to bring attention to the mission statement of McDowell County Schools. McDowell County Schools believes in their ability to unleash the potential of every student every day. Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to contact me. My email address is elester4@liberty.edu. Thank you again, and have a wonderful rest of your day.